Hey, welcome back. All right, so we're working on a series on bouncing back, and many of us are feeling some heavy emotions. Some of the emotions we might be feeling are fear or anxiety or sadness. But one of the major emotions that many of us are feeling is grief. We are definitely, a lot of us, experiencing grief. Grief for different losses. The loss of normalcy, the loss of a sense of safety, the loss of our routines and activities. Some of us are grieving for the loss of senior prom or our sports season or possibly graduation or other events that we had planned. And this is grief. And also some of us might be experiencing grief of the loss of a loved one. Grief is a challenging emotion, but an important emotion. And it helps to have an understanding of the stages of grief so that we can help ourselves and so that we can help others who might be dealing with grief. And Elisabeth Kübler-Ross years ago talked about 5 stages of grief. And the 5 stages are: first, denial. This isn't going to happen to me. Many of us experience that, or this isn't happening. Many of us experience that at the start of the crisis. Oh, this is going to be somewhere else, a different country, a different city. It's not coming to my town. It doesn't affect me, or I'm not vulnerable. The second stage is anger. You're taking away what? I have to do what? I can't do what? That's anger. The third stage is bargaining. Okay, so if I socially distance for 2 weeks, then everything will be back to normal, right? The fourth stage is sadness. This is happening, and I don't know when it's going to end. It's not what I want. And then the final stage is, or the fifth stage, is acceptance. Acceptance is, this is happening. I get it. It's happening. How can I adjust? How can I find ways to survive this and maybe even find ways to thrive during this? So we go through those stages, maybe not in sequential order. We might jump around, and also as we go through those stages, some of us take longer and some of us take shorter to go through them, and it might be dependent on the person. It might be dependent on what kind of level of grief you might be experiencing. So expecting yourself to go from denial today to acceptance tomorrow might be a little bit overambitious. What helps us to move through this is to focus on talking about what we're feeling and writing about what we're feeling and really investigating what we're feeling so that we can better accept what we're feeling. And accepting those emotions is important. We don't want to bury our emotions. If we bury our emotions around grief, they can very well grow into a very dysfunctional emotional and behavioral tree in our lives. And so we want to make sure that we're talking about them, that we're getting them out, and we're learning to accept those feelings. The other thing we want to do in these stages is we really want to focus on taking care of ourselves, our own self-care. We want to make sure we're getting good sleep and we're eating healthy, we're getting exercise, we're engaging in activities that we like and connecting with people around us and not isolating ourselves. That's a big deal. Don't isolate yourself during grief. Another really helpful thing is to spend time helping others. When I engage in helping others as they're dealing through loss, or as they're dealing with whatever, if I can help others, it often induces positive emotions in myself and helps me help myself. And last but not least is where we tend to focus. What I want you to consider doing is balancing your focus, not just on what you have lost, but balancing it with a focus on what you had and that you're grateful for what you had, and a focus on what you have left, because this will help balance that view. So please use this to help yourself or help others. Focus on taking care of yourself and reach out to those around you. And I'll see you in the next video.